Hello everyone, welcome in. I know I'm starting a bit earlier than usual. Usually I start at 5, but can we not sit on the keyboard, please? Like that's the one thing I ask, is that we don't sit on the keyboard. Starting a little earlier than usual because I was looking at the Twitch research for Vampire the Masquerade, and this is about the time that it looks the best for this game. So I figured I'd start a little early, and then this way I can get done a little early as well, and then I can make dinner and do what I need to do still. As you can see, I have all three of... Okay, maybe you can't see. Let me do some adjusting here. I cleaned my desk, so my camera is not where it usually... Jesus Christ, now I'm not even in frame. Isn't where it normally is. Now you can't see Maru. But I have all three of the boys up here, and you can't see her because of where Kirito is sitting, but it's back there. While I was cleaning yesterday, story time, I like to light a candle when I'm cleaning. And so I cleaned my designated area for the candle, Ayame, and made sure everything was nice and safe where I was going to put this candle. And the cats have never, ever given me any issue with candles before. And I'm working on... So I cleared my little spot over here on my nightstand for my candle. And I get it lit and I set it up. And I'm working on... I just cleaned my desk and there's cat snot all over it again. And my keyboard. Even though I just spent an hour scrubbing the keyboard yesterday, Ame. But yeah, I'm over here cleaning my desk, wiping everything down real nice and good. And I hear something burning that's not the candle. Something that's not supposed to be burning. And I turn around, and Little Bit has her whole ass sitting on the candle that I'm burning. And just looks at me like, "Hi, my butt's warm." This cat damn near burned her asshole. She gave herself a sani trim in the process, though. I had to... Oh my god, I got her off of the candle and, like, swatted her butt to put her out. And then I had to get the brush and brush the singe out of her fur. Oh, you guys kill me, you know that? Like, y'all are fucking ridiculous. Anywho, so... I also want to apologize for how long it's been since I last played this. I played 2 parts and then I canceled a bunch. Unfortunately, my AS is up and down with the weather. So, yeah, I'm trying to not let the AS kick my ass. Some days that's really hard. But thankfully today I only had 2 dog walking appointments. I had to stop at the doctor's office and get some more blood work done because a month ago my white blood cell count was elevated. So they wanted me to come in and test that again to see if it's gone down or if I should be concerned because I don't feel sick. I don't feel sick. I haven't felt sick for some time. But obviously if the white blood cell count is up, something's wrong. So we're gonna see how that's going. I'll know the results in like a week or so. Yeah. And then it took forever to get my prescription sorted out at the pharmacy today, too. I decided both things were supposed to be in and out things, and both things ended up taking an hour each. Jesus Christ! It's only supposed to take a couple minutes. Oh. So. But in the pharmacy's defense, they had one pharmacist, and they were bouncing back and forth between filling the orders and stuff, or whatever it is they do in the pharmacy, and doing vaccines at the same time. So, I can't be mad at them for that. Anywho, getting back to the point, when we last left off, I made friends with a Gangrel, a Malkavian, and a Tremere? Was it a Tremere? Was he a Tremere? I don't remember. Let's jump back into it. My vampire's name was Vita, that's right. Oh, and I accidentally killed somebody. I mean, do I have to rest? Like, can I go see one more person? I want to go see the Gangrel again. I like her. The scarred one. Upon returning to your you need to rest. Fuck you! Upon returning to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper lying on your windowsill. Need a favor if you're still up to it. Come meet me in Prospect. Okay, well, I apparently have to rest. It's not going to let me continue. Look. You're walking down the street towards your haven. No, can't click. Gotta use... Okay. In some other town, the sidewalks would be deserted this time of night. In New York City, there are plenty of passers-by going about their business. No, can't press space either? Fine. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The kindred have many enemies, and all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look alike to people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker, or a kindred thrall tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a pro-car ordinary cop, or Second Inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone is watching you. It's not the first time you felt like this. Goodness, I'm glad I got water. Although my first break, I'll probably make some tea. I hit my elbow on the desk. Don't mind me. It wasn't funny. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone is tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun is coming up soon, and you'll burn to a crisp if you stay on the streets. You reach your haven and settle in for the day, disconcerted by the idea that someone might know where you sleep. As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing on the corner, looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey, whom you met recently, Jackie. He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. He still looks kind of rough after your last brawl, but the damage to his face is clearly mended. His hands are out of his pockets, though. Sign of goodwill? That's close enough. What the hell do you want? Says who? Let me guess. Kaiser sent you. Let me guess. This is not a social visit. Kaiser sent you? Don't say his name out loud, idiot. He takes a look around just to make sure nobody's listening to our conversation. Yeah, he sent me. I'm supposed to give you this. He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. Read it, memorize it, and give it back here. It's a letter. The paper might be just a page ripped out of a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads, "Time to square up your debt with me. Go to the wine shop at 232 Mulberry Street and ask for the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negramo. Okay, sure, Negroni. It's not what it is. When they tell you they don't have it, say you are a fidel servitor della familia. Those exact fucking words. And make sure you get the G right. A fidel servitor della familia G. You'll get a bottle. Just take it and leave by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else. Walk out. When you have it, come back to Jackie Boy here and let him know. You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over. Oh god, do I actually have to remember that? What's the rush, buddy? With all the cloak and dagger nonsense. Didn't think your boss was a letter guy. Didn't peg your boss for a letter kind of guy. Isn't electronic communication his whole shtick? Excuse me. Yeah, well, some things are better done the old-fashioned way. You about done with the letter? You note the phrases and address mentioned in the letter, then hand it back to Jackie. He immediately reaches for a lighter and burns the letter, putting out the ashes with his boot. Well, that seems okay. So yeah, when you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. I'll be in that alley over there, so find me when you have the item, whatever it is. I don't know, and the boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care, so I don't. See ya. He shuffles away and leaves you to pursue the lead from the letter. Time to pay a visit to Nolita. You arrive at the address mentioned in the note. Not counting local restaurant patrons, the street is mostly empty at this time of night, but curiously, the wine shop is still open. Inside, a small middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter, in front of a wall filled with wine bottles. There's a door at the back of the room with a small table and chair occupied by a man in a black faux leather jacket with slick, combed black hair. He's reading a newspaper, but pauses a little as a little bell rings when you open the door. He takes a sip from a small, steaming cup, then gets back to his broadsheet. Broadsheet? Good evening. How can I help you? Be direct. I would like a bottle of the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negro Amaro, please. Let me check our stock. She seems to be looking through a database on the laptop sitting on the counter. She puts on a polite smile. I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment. Sorry. Recite the phrase, straight and simple. I'm a fidel servitor de la familia G. Ah, in that case, let me see if we have any in the back. Wait here, please. The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from the nearby glass. He tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes. Remain silent and wait. Remind yourself of what Kaiser wrote in the letter and keep quiet, patiently waiting for the woman to return from the back of the store. The man finishes his drink and starts doodling on the newspaper, his eyes darting to you every so often. The doors to the back of the store open, and the proprietor emerges with a small, unlabeled, squat bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologetic smile. Scusi, sorry for taking so long. Turns out we did have it. She offers you the bottle, and you reach out to grab it. She retracts it. You do know what this is, don't you? Sure, why not? You focus your blood and immediately see both of the people in the shop focus intently on you and what you're about to say. I know exactly what this is, and I'm the right person to give it to. The woman gives you the bottle without hesitation. Grazie. Deciding you've pushed your luck far enough, you nod and exit the store, then take a brisk walk to your car. Nobody follows you as you leave Nolita and drive back to your apartment. It takes you some time to find a parking spot, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. He's not far from where you parted ways just under 2 hours ago. Got the goods? Sure do. Cool. Stand by. Gotta make the call. He takes a few more steps into a narrow space between two buildings and takes out the same high-tech phone you saw him carrying last time. Hey, boss. Yeah, they have it. Where do I point them to? Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them to go there right away. Puts the phone back in his pocket and turns back to you. Willet's Point. Half an hour, so you better step on it. See you around. It's only a flippant salute. Jackie starts walking down the street. You make your way back to the car and drive. You had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here. Willet's Point is quite a change of scenery. The place is a post-industrial dump, the nearby stadium notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes will kill your chassis. You step out into one of the gashes in the asphalt, splashing in the ankle-deep water. Kaiser's limo is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted, other than the apparent proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman who's just locking up the place. I should probably be. This is too perfect an opportunity to not take advantage of. She's walking to her car, ready to call it a night when you sneak up on her. She's far too tired to resist your strong hold and a swift bite. You can taste the caffeine in her veins, smell the cheap cigarettes in her hair, the old cooking grease in her clothes. She passes out. Your assault, the closing note. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. She passes out. Your assault, the closing note of a long day at work. You let her down gently, feel a pang of remorse. Picked up the car keys she dropped and placed her in the driver's seat. You'll find an explanation for passing out like this for sure. The bright lights of a car pulling over down the road illuminate you as you close the door. Black limo. Kaiser is finally here, it would seem. Same as last time, the car doors open, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time, Kaiser is visible when you look inside. You sit down and close the door behind you. Blech. So, you pulled it off without a hitch, then. Give it here. You hand the bottle over to the Nosferatu. He uncorks it gently, takes a whiff, and puts the cork back in. Yeah, that's the stuff. Good job, kid. Consider your debt paid. Oh, yeah. And also take this. It's what Langley wanted. He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Yeah. I'll send Jackie over if I ever need anything else from you. How about that? Time for you to get out now. He waves you out of the car. With the envelope in hand, you get out, back onto the torn asphalt in decrepit surroundings. The limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wanted. Gregory lets you in. You hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh, and you realize Sophie's having a guest over. Thomas Arturo. Mommy, your hair is everywhere. You met in Elysium a few nights back. That shriek is unmistakable. Ah, Vita. So glad to see you. Tell me, did you two have a chance to talk previously? Thomas speaks up before you can. Why, yes, of course. And such a good first impression you made, too. Miss Langley clearly did the right thing by taking you under her wing. I'm sure she thinks so, too, don't you, Sophie? Oh, I bet. Why, of course you do. Of course. Well, I believe I must be going. I'll be sure to let Prince Panhard know your thoughts, Miss Langley. Word for word, or as close as I can remember them. I appreciate it, Thomas. You two enjoy your night now. Good night, Sophie. Vita. Greggy boy. He gives you a sly smile. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of the hand towards his host and you. The doors close. What's his deal? So what is his deal? Same as everyone's. Position, power, influence. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone from the prince to the lowliest primogen. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, have you been putting mine to the test lately? Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for? Yes, but I had to do another job for him first. Yes, I have it, but the data you offered was old news to him. I had to do another job for him before he would give me the card. He retrieves the envelope from you. I'm sure he did. I hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. I had to retrieve a bottle. He made me go on an entirely separate escapade to retrieve a bottle of wine from a store in Nolita. I had to use code phrases and whatnot. Wine shop? Code phrases? That degenerate pest. She's visibly agitated, but calms down and smiles at you. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that whatever Kaiser had you do, it'll blow over. She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw on Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen. Yes. Excellent. I need to call in some favors. I will likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear Charge. I will contact you soon. With that, Sophie ushers you outside, and you are left to do with the rest of this night's hours as you like. Oh, that's why. Okay. Let's see what all this is. Okay. Juno and Agathon. Juno, the notes. You find the mystery of Agathon's research tantalizing enough to pay him a visit. Somebody's watching me, part 1. Recently, you're feeling as if somebody keeps tailing you. Time to confirm your suspicions. I should probably do that before I do anything else. Excuse me. The other side of Hope. Hope is about to head out into the city, accompanying her, and see her true face. Gumshoe in the Dark. A recent string of violent killings has the Red Hook district of Brooklyn on edge. Sophie mentioned that Kadar al-Sami, I don't know, has a secret associate investigating the murders, a Nosferatu neonate by the name of D'Angelo. If you help him out, he might be persuaded to form a long-lasting partnership. Oh, okay, so that's okay. Well, I feel like I should take care of the person that is tailing me before I do anything else. Because if someone is tailing me, I risk putting everyone else in danger. So, let's take care of our tail. Our little bug. Sorry, I want everyone to be able to see how cute you guys are. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do somebody's watching. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is what to do about it. Provoke the stalker to appear. You venture out to the street with the goal of letting your stalker know you're aware of being followed. It's time to stop this ridiculous charade. It's raining outside. As you step onto the street in front of you, your haven, you wonder whether that'll help you. Will you be able to see the footprints of your stalker in the puddles on the ground? Not sure where to start, you slip a few bills to a homeless man and chat up the guy who runs the local bodega. Both of them talk your ear off about strange characters hanging around, but none of their stories seem right to you. Walking the streets, you're convinced by turns that everyone you see Hang on. Walking the streets, you're convinced by turns that everyone you see is an enemy agent out to get you, and that your stalker has decided to take the night off. Frustrated after a couple of hours of useless searching, you cross the road without looking where you're going. The courier on a motorbike zooms towards you and has no time to brake or swerve as you suddenly step in front of him. For a split second, your eyes meet those of the man on the bike, and you both know you'll collide. You'll get hurt. Something hits you, pushing you forward. You tumble, flying to the sidewalk as the courier zooms past. You feel a weight on your back, catch a glimpse of something, person, female, thing, and then she disappears. You could spend a couple more hours trying to find the woman who's been stalking you, but in your shriveled, undead heart, you know it to be futile. She's gone. Damn it, now I need to rest. Lame. I still need to convince the gumshoe in the dark to work with me. Fine, I'll go rest. Oh. I didn't start my timer. Oh, we're skipping. Okay. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, so, an Agathon, Faith and Myth Part 2. The Noit Segal wants to meet you again at the cathedral. You wonder whether that mysterious priest will be there. A nosy, there's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's haven. You could use your help with the problem. Well, I do have to serve. Jesus, so much hair. I do have to serve Sophie. She's a priority. So let's go ahead and accept that. And then we'll go to the gumshoe. And then we'll just work our way through, I guess. I don't know. The streetlights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. I can take care of myself. I've tried to dress inconspicuously. I've had other things to worry about. I've tried to dress inconspicuously. Because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. I apologize if you can hear the lawn care workers outside. They cannot decide what day they want to do lawn care on. I swear, they come on a different day every week. It's super annoying. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is the reporter after you? I used to have a journalist friend. I'll go beat the bastard up. I used to have a journalist friend. Then you know what they're like. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it. Blood, treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any, as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors. Please, be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here. Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning Isn't this dangerous? Isn't this unavoidable? This must happen often. You know what? I'm gonna take a break while they're getting closer to my window, and I'm gonna go make some tea. I'll be back. If you could hear me over that. Jesus, it's so loud. Ouch. Damn it. Did it! I did it! 20 seconds to spare. Bitches.
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me. All I saw was your hand through the door.
I'm coming for you.
Fuck. I was literally about to say, well, we're pretty decent on generators, though.
I mean, we had to do 3.
Yeah.
Spooks, are you spectating by any chance?
Yep.
Good.
And Hayden immediately notices the step here tags. And just, as soon as we're in the door, books it. For the first one he sees, Tegan takes off running after him, telling him to come back, that he's got to stay with us. Hayden hits the pad, keeps going. Tegan is still running after him. The spider launches up and just knocks Tegan's ass on the ground. Baby strapped to your chest, so that's off the edges a bit. God damn. Okay. This game knows me. Ah, fuck that. Get it away. No, the fuck it is not. No, thank you. I would rather fucking not. No, not the fucking children in this small ass fucking room. Okay, cool. Thanks. Nope. I don't know where.
Oh!
I'll help.
see what it is. You would have to make a jump across that, Blue.
I hate jumping.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm just saying that.
Is there anything down below me?
Just sleeping on the couch.
Before I pulled it, and then somebody exploded playing with the dog.
Sorry, I was eating a sandwich.
You're fine. I was more worried about Chaos playing with the eyeless dog plush and exploding. Is what I meant.
Did he already? Oh my fucking god.
Gosh, oh god, you're over here. Sorry, I didn't know you were over here. I'm sorry. I came around the corner just in time to see that shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
It is, yeah, it's this bathroom.
It's the bathroom.
No, it's not the bathroom. No.
The fuck?
It was, like, behind the door.
It's funny, because I'm here, and I have an EMF of 4. Oh, that's a wonderful sound.
Oh, I hear the fourth one.
I hear it.
Ow! I feel it!
Oh, there's another one right next to it.
Okay then. No, good! Demolition
What
expert.
just
Knock
happened?
down 6 or more trees.
Something.
Blew up.
Somebody's in our game.
It's not showing anybody.
Oh, I am so fucked. Motherfucker, I was looking at you. What the fuck? You should not be able to move. I'm looking at you. Oh yeah.
We need more.
Oh
Manna
yeah.
coins.
Yeah, just a bit.
We're halfway there.
Oh no, we should have it now. Yeah, we're halfway there. Alright, time to play leather pants.
What are you doing to that trampoline sign?
I'm one bit short.
Kind of forced me into so it was gravity's fault. Yeah, we're playing gravity.
I watched an anime with a wall.
Oh, that was fucking worth it! That was fucking worth it! We get it. You're needy. Yes, we know. You're so laid back and chill until the boobs are around. Then you're like, boobs? Alrighty, sorry about that. Oh, I couldn't decide what kind of tea I wanted, and I wanted to make sure they had enough time to, you know, move on. Yeah. I made some elderberry healer tea. I started coughing a lot, which is only mildly concerning. Also, look how cute these two little shits are. Like, look at this. Oh. Yeah, of course. Yeah, my camera can stop working now. That's cool. That's the right time for that. Love it when that happens. Are we working again? Okay, cool. at his little pee. He's got this paw around her. Oh, you don't have a paw around her up here. I thought you did. Little shits. Alright. Ooh, anywho. Whoa. That's my stream preview. Okay. Okay. Isn't this dangerous? For all kindred? Of course it is. If we don't make it go away. Do you know anything about the reporter? Do I get something out of this? Am I in danger? Do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside on the street, there's a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. Investigate the area. You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner, the homeless man sleeping in the nearby doorway, and the doorman of another building whether they've seen anyone strange. Detective work produces results. You get the description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, hasty, and in bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. I like how they have to describe every single time the fucking alley. Like we don't all know what a fucking alleyway is. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. Alright, I thought I heard a voice for a second. I'm not in VC, am I? I have done that before, so many times before, where I've joined a VC and accidentally never left it for a whole fucking day. But I don't see... No, I'm not in any VCs. Okay. Oh, I don't fucking know. It might be the ambience of the game. It might have been a voice in the game that I heard. But I could have swore it was fucking ninjas for a split second. The man you are following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him, a shield. Its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline in some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Daughtry. He's a pretty doughy man. And he'd taken pictures of one of your investors, feeling up a sex worker at a nightclub. Was it Vivi? Was it Velvet Velour? I mean, she is pretty. But never feel her up without her consent. In fact, don't feel up anybody, whether they're a sex worker or not, without their consent. It's not that hard. Well, there's a joke in there. Do with that what you will. Not being a piece of shit human being is not that hard. Consent. Respect it, motherfuckers. Any hoozle. You'd been there too, and the funny thing was, what Daughtry showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that. I recognize you. I'm a huge fan. Welcome to Knuckletown. I recognize you. You're Frank Daughtry. I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right? I'm a real reporter, damn it. the reporter, huh? What are you reporting on? A lot of scoops here in this dirty alley? What are you reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. That's strange. So what do you think's going on? They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. So you're a stalker of some sort. That's strange. What do you think's going on? I love humoring people and then fucking them up. Not that I do that IRL. No, I fuck with people a lot IRL, actually. There's a reason I'm a 15-year veteran haunt actor. Beats me. That's what I'm here to find out. You must have a theory about what's happening. It must be important. So why does this matter? Maybe it doesn't. But people are always interested in staying young. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it, only her doctor is better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. Understatement, sir. Understatement. No doctor is that good. Hook me up with this miracle doctor. You're looking for a doctor in an alley. You're thinking the world's best plastic surgeon is working out of this alley? Okay, fine. I don't know what this is about. So how would you explain? It's a hoax. Ancient medicines. It's a hoax. Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax? Sure, anything could be a hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. Got to have something usable. Threaten Frank with legal action, intimidate Frank with violence, dominate. Leave and destroy your research. Could threaten him with legal action. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good option. So if he's like, whatever. I like dominating. You look Frank in the eyes. They are red behind his shaded glasses. Veins popped from years of neglecting his body. Suddenly he seems soft, easy to manipulate. His will nothing but plaster crumbling under your boot. Go home and destroy your research on Sophie Langley. As your vampiric gaze takes over Frank's mind, he feels less than a person and more like an automaton, a machine you can program. Perhaps this is why older vampires are said to think of humans as nothing but animals. How can you consider someone a thinking person with free will when you can override them at any moment? Some are stronger than others, I assume. Frank is mumbling, fondling his camera, inching around you to the entrance of the alley. He looks sad and worn as he goes, a man who used to be someone, now just a shell. It feels almost embarrassing to use the powers of your blood on someone so weak. At least you're pretty sure he'll stay away. Missed a period, guys. I would like to proofread games, please. And books. Someone hire me to proofread shit. Please. I don't have a degree, but like, seriously, I could have failed my senior English and still passed with all the extra credit the teacher gave me for finding errors in stuff that we were reading in class, or on our homework, or the books I was reading for fun myself, because Yeah, I'm not a reader. No, not at all. What gave you that idea? Yeah, I don't have books literally everywhere. I read banned books. Just saying. Alright. Don't mind my chaos giggle. Leave me alone. I don't think I've started yours yet. Gumshoe in the Dark. A recent string of violent killings has the Red Hook district of Brooklyn on edge. Sophie mentioned that Qadar al-Assami, I'm not entirely sure on the enunciation. Someone would like to tell me the correct way to enunciate that, I would appreciate it. When it comes to saying things correctly, I appreciate being corrected. As a secret associate investigating the murders, a Nosferatu neonate by the name of D'Angelo. If you help him out, he might be persuaded. Okay, yeah, so I don't have a partnership with you currently. I've got the beginnings with just about everyone else, but you, I don't. So, let's get to it. So. Save? Nope, just save and exit. Got it. Well, we won't be doing that. Excuse me. As you make your way down Clinton Street, the incessant hum of traffic gives way to the ominous silence of the waterfront. You stop to take in the familiar bouquet of the Hudson, made all the more potent by your recently sharpened senses. Across the basin, the Red Hook grain terminal rears its rusty frame. Once a bustling industrial area, now a sleeping giant splayed out on the riverbank, forgotten, abandoned. Conveniently so, especially for one of the hidden. Keeping to the shadows, you sneak closer to the dilapidated complex, making your way past hole-ridden silos and wobbly chain-link fences. By the time you reach the entrance to the main building, you can almost feel the rust particles making themselves cozy at the back of your throat. I feel like I got rust in my throat. Not getting your hopes up, you give the door a slight nudge. To your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Once inside, you find yourself in a large, empty hall. Looking around, you can almost picture it back in its heyday, stacked to the rafters with heavy machinery. Jackson's upset about something. You notice a set of stairs leading up to a mezzanine, most likely an office space. And then you see it, a faint light coming from one of the upper rooms. Looks like you're in luck. Quietly, with bated breath, you climb the steps and approach the dimly lit room. The door creaks open, revealing what looks like an old-timey detective's office, complete with crooked window blinds, an overflowing ashtray, and papers scattered across the wooden desk. Suddenly, it hits you, a nagging feeling. This is all too convenient, too inviting. Before you can react, the trap is already sprung. Whoops. Well, that was dumb of us. A plume of cigar smoke wafts over your shoulder. The barrel of a gun rubs against your spine. A raspy voice whispers in your ear. Let me guess. Took a wrong turn at the third silo. Attempt to talk down the assailant. Rush the assailant. Presence. Make him stand down. Sure. Driven by a strange hunch, you open your mouth. You hear yourself talking, but the words are not yours. They seem to be coming from the deepest recesses of your memory. A movie you saw as a child. You don't know why, but it seems oddly appropriate. I know what you're thinking. This punk ain't got nothing on me. I'm sitting pretty on a loaded Colt Detective special. 5 in the cylinder, 1 in the chamber, and I only need the 1. As corny as it all sounds, the stranger seems oddly receptive to your tough guy monologue, so you decide to bump it up a notch. Focusing your will, you boost your aura, filling the room with your presence. Your voice becomes smooth, oozing charisma. A regular Sam Spade. You yourself can't help but feel a sense of awe. Hopefully the stranger feels it too. But then there's that nagging feeling. What if there's more to this gal than she lets on? What if she's got me right where she wants me? Maybe I should hear what she has to say. Is that right? Yeah. So, how about we drop the tough guy act and talk like adults? You can always shoot me once we're done. For a few tense seconds, the room grows quiet. So quiet, in fact, you could swear you can actually hear the smoke swirling in the air. Finally, the stranger speaks again. You got a point there, kid. In a strange interplay of light and shadows, the stranger reappears behind his desk. Seeing him in his full, for lack of a better word, glory, you can't help but smirk. This is the dreaded Nosferatu? The way Sophie described them, you were expecting some grotesque monstrosity. But this guy? Clothes, the swagger, the hard-boiled detective routine? It all comes across as a bad joke. Still, when it comes to appearance, his lineage is undeniable. From 30 feet away, he could probably pass for a bum with a nasty skin condition. From 5 feet away, he looks like something made to be seen from 30 feet away. He leans back in his chair, casually pointing his gun at you. So, what brings you to my humble office? Looking for a Nosferatu, are you D'Angelo? The Red Hook murders? I'm here about the Red Hook murders. Yeah, that. Nasty business. What's it got to do with me? A lot, if you ask Kadar. A deer? A lot, apparently. At least, Kadar. See, Kadir. Again, please tell me how to enunciate this if I'm butchering the shit out of it, which I feel like I am. At least, Kadir seems to think so. Kadir. Kadir? Kadir. His expression sours. Not a name you want to casually toss around, kid. But hey, I get it. You're not some random schmuck who wandered in here off the street. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Name's D'Angelo. Jin, to my friends, so you can call me D'Angelo. Who I work for is less important. What I'm working on, however, isn't going so well. So let me help. I know, I'm here to help. I want to help you catch the killer. His moldy lips twist into a smile. Do you now? D'Angelo lowers his shade. For a few seconds, he sits motionless, with his eyes fixed on yours. Suddenly, he raises his gun, almost making you flinch. Almost. Then, he twirls it into his shoulder holster in a flashy display that definitely looks like it was practiced. A lot. In front of a mirror. You see the Nosferatu's lips move, but the quiet mumbling clearly isn't meant for your ears. Listening in, you're able to catch snippets of his monologue. Sure, they seem to care. What was the end game? What was their aim? Everybody's got one. Even if they pretend like they don't. Especially then. What the hell? Maybe this town's finally got to me. He pauses, sticks a fresh cigar between his crooked teeth. Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered. Offer him a light. As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter before his eyes. Or maybe you could use a healthy dose of unhealthy. For a split second, he gives you a puzzled look. Then he leans over to your lighter, puffing the cig as it catches fire. A wary smile comes back to his lips. I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what. I was just about to head back to the crime scene. Take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. I could use an assistant. Someone to take notes. Make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. What are we waiting for? Just one more thing. You still got me at a disadvantage here. Seems like you've done some digging on me, but with you, I've barely scratched the surface. Catch my drift? So answer me this. Who was it that sent you into my neck of the woods? Or, in layman's terms, who do you work for? I'd rather keep it to myself now. At least for the time being. To your surprise, a smile wriggles its way across D'Angelo's lips. He doesn't seem all that bothered by your reticence. Fair enough, kid. Hey, at least you're upfront about it. But just so you know, if you're gonna play the game, sooner or later, you're gonna have to show your cards. One blink is enough for you to miss D'Angelo's vanishing from his chair. Just when you're about to look around, he reappears right next to you. Up close, his smile is even more. Alright, moonlight's burning. Let's get cracking. With a certain fascination, you watch D'Angelo stumble his way across West Brooklyn. Alright, my throat's already getting sore. Oddly animated, incessantly scratching his face and neck, stopping every once in a while for a bout of mumbling narration. He is most certainly a sight to behold. Still, he seems to be getting around okay, and you take particular note of the fact that he seems to be choosing the darker, less frequented streets. There is definitely a method to his madness. Eventually, your leprous guide takes a sudden turn off Burnt Front. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Sometimes I have to repeat things for my brain to be like, no, here we go, we found the right one. But also, that's part of what makes me so good at catching errors, because my brain stops and goes, wait a minute, that wasn't right. Was it? Go back and reread it until my brain can make sense of it and figure out what's wrong. So, I've had a lot of practice. One of my teachers in elementary school, when I was in first grade, she thought I might be dyslexic and taught me ways of coping with it that have been so useful my entire life. So, Mrs. Senebal, if for whatever insane reason you end up watching this, thank you for teaching me those things. I still use them to this day, so thank you. You've been a lifesaver for me. Anywho. Van Brunt Street, and into a particularly dingy alleyway. The torn pieces of yellow police tape are a dead giveaway. This has to be the place. Well, here we are. Time for you to earn your stripes. This is where they found him. Drained dry, not a drop of blood in him. Before you ask, no, I didn't get to see the body. So I don't know if there were any bite marks. So, what can you tell me? Take a moment to examine the crime scene. Judging by the chalk outline on the pavement, the man was killed recently. Curiously, there doesn't appear to be a trace of blood or viscera. And you know the city's cleanup crew isn't that fast. Or that thorough. Looking up, you notice a spray-painted sign on the wall. It reads, "The Blood Speaks," big, crooked letters. You look at D'Angelo. Nosferatu gives you an expecting look. The graffiti looks like a clue. There's no blood. You're the detective, you tell me. The graffiti looks like a clue. You point at the spray-painted sign. That looks like a clue. Sure, kid. Might as well start with the elephant in the room. What do you think it means? You give the sign a good hard look. It's no Rembrandt. The writing is jagged, clearly done in a hurry. Desperate, it's meant to throw us off. What did it say? That's my diction. Blood speak. Okay. The blood. Shut up, phone. Shut up! You shut the fuck up and kiss. Quiet time. Give me the menu. Why? Fuck you. Off. Thank you. It's quiet time. Seems desperate. I don't think it comes off as desperate. Like yeah, it's messy because they did it quickly. But that doesn't make it desperate. Meant to throw us off. Nothing. It's meant to throw us off. Nah, I can see why you'd think that, but look at how crooked the letters are. Barely legible. You can't fake something like that. Someone was very nervous, very scared. It definitely meant something to them. But it doesn't scream desperate to me. And then there's the blood, or lack thereof. And given that the murder was committed right here and the victim didn't make a sound, we can therefore conclude that the killer is kindred. The killer used a sedative. And then what? Pump out the blood without spilling a drop? With people nearby? Yeah. Only one set of tools can do it this quickly and quietly. I'm going the human route before I go the vampire route. Humans are fucked up individuals. Take a vampire over a fucking human any goddamn day. Anyway, he smiles and taps himself on one of his fangs. Tell me, if you were to guess, which clan would you say our killer belongs to? Ooh! Thinbloods, Alcavians, Mir. Well, Thinbloods are the, oh god. I know this. I know what Thinbloods are. Are they in my dictionary here? Why is there no organization? Methuselah. Seriously, why is this not alphabetized? It's a fucking dictionary. Okay. Well, that's useless to me. But Thinbloods, from bloodlines, Thinbloods were the ones who, like, they were vampires, but they didn't have the special abilities of vampires or something like that. They were considered, like, less than vampires. Yeah, they weren't even considered better than humans. Or something to that effect. And bloods, because their blood wouldn't speak. I don't like that my dictionary updated before I actually, like, after I used the word, like I knew what the fuck it was. What's your dick? What? Thinbloods. Vampires with blood so diluted, they retain many human traits. The Thinbloods are invariably clanless. Survivors of the last decades of pogroms, prejudice, and ostracization, their numbers now swell. Their messy street alchemy and ability to pass as human makes them uniquely suited to thrive outside kindred society and make their own fate in the postmodern night. The thin-blooded can be of any mortal origin and are not affected by their parent clan's curse nor by their preferences in the same degree as their sire. In 2009, the Inner Circle of the Camarilla issued an edict that all thin-blooded must be branded or tattooed with the Mark of the Crescent Moon, inked by a Tremere tattoo artist or scorched with a beam of sunlight. The brand is irreversible. Many kindred still view the Thinbloods as a threat to the masquerade. Weaklings, runoffs, abortions, and will destroy them if given the chance. Those who do not despise Thinbloods tend to call them young ones, chameleons, or duskborns. I rescued the Thinbloods in Bloodlines. I helped them get out of town and then told whoever gave me the quest that I killed them. and that they were no longer a problem. D'Angelo smiles approvingly. In bright neon letters, a fully fledged kindred would use his powers to lure the victim somewhere out of sight, and they certainly wouldn't stick around for the shitty art project. He pauses, spits out the mangled remains of a cigar. Shit, looks like we're gonna have to pay Larson a visit. Who? Who's Larson? Geez, you really are new at this, ain't you? Larson. I said Robert Larson? The thin blood primogen? I didn't know they had one. Not sure if he knows who the killer is, but he could probably make an educated guess. In any case, we'd be doing him a favor. If it turns out one of his is violating the masquerade, it would put him in a hell of an awkward position. And I mean, shitting upside down awkward. Ah! The shit fountain. Got it. It's the kind of weakness the other Primogen would love to exploit. His position in the council is bad as it is. He pauses for a moment and mumbles to himself, but it's too quiet for you to make out. Finally, he lights up a fresh cigar. He takes a puff and lets the smoke escape through his crooked smile. Alright, kid. Let's get this over with. Compared to the industrial ugliness of Red Hook, Sterling Place is quite a change of scenery. The heavily gentrified and pleasantly dull residential area emanates a sort of peaceful apathy that rich hipsters scoff at and blue-collar workers dream of. All of a sudden, the Nosferatu stops. It almost seems like he was taking a deep breath, steeling himself for things to come. This is the place. With that, he points to a surprisingly nice-looking two-story house. The place is almost completely dark. Almost. You notice a dim light shining through the curtains of an upper-story window. It's probably safe to assume that the head of the family is working late, especially if the head of the family happens to be a vampire. Okay, kid, we gotta be gentle about this. I'm talking velvet gloves, soft cushions, you rang my lord gentle. We need to get Larson out here without making a fuss or letting his family see it. If we blow this, he'll shut down like a speakeasy on raid night. Trust me, I know. Sounds like you two have some history. Sounds about right, but that's a story for another time. Right now, let's stick to why we're here. Tell you what, how about you take the lead on this one? I'm curious to see how you handle it. You take a step back and look around the area. The lit-up window seems like a safe bet. Now it's just a matter of getting Larson's attention. His, and no one else's. As you're trying to come up with a viable strategy, you're suddenly startled by a loud noise. It takes you a second to identify the sound as a dog's barking. It doesn't take you long to figure out where it came from. As a bearded man, leading a Rottweiler on his leash, comes into view. Ring the doorbell, throw a small rock at the window, feeding opportunity, man walking his dog. No, we're not gonna, no, not doing that. I know that I, did use my powers, but I don't, the dog's gonna be a problem. And I don't, nope, we don't kill animals. Can you tell that's part of why I resonate with the Gangrel? I hate that I'm a Ventru right now. Playing a Ventru. Ring the doorbell. Well, that'll call everybody's attention. Throw a small rock at the window. If it is him up there, then that would get his attention. You kneel down and pick up a rock off the lawn. One small enough to not break glass, but big enough to get someone's attention. Deftly, you chuck the rock at the window. It bounces off the glass with a quiet but audible thump. Moments pass in silence, making you think no one got your message. Just as you start to look for another rock, you hear the window slide open. A very unassuming and slightly... Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Ow! Sneezing hurts. Woo! My heart stopped for a second, guys. Anywho. A very unassuming and slightly unshaven man in a turtleneck appears at the window. As soon as he notices you, his expression sours, like he just smelled something rotten. He addresses your Nosferatu partner in what could only be described as a very loud and very angry whisper. Get the fuck off my lawn, D'Angelo. You know, goddamn... Excuse me. Get the fuck off my lawn, D'Angelo. You know goddamn better than to show your ugly mug around here. Glance over at D'Angelo. He looks somewhat embarrassed, scratching the back of his neck, clearly trying to find the right angle to play this. Get down here or we get loud. This is important. Get down here or we get loud. Get your ass down here before we get really loud. Larson pierces you with his gaze. You can almost picture a fuse sticking out of his head, slowly burning away to an inevitable explosion. Luckily, he manages to put it out. Here you are. You wait out on the lawn, listening to Larson quietly make his way downstairs. Before long, he appears on the porch, locking the front door behind him. He motions at you to follow him off to the side of the house. There, he turns towards you. What do you want? It's about the Red Hook murders. We think one of yours is responsible. Bullshit. Dustborn's got enough trouble just staying alive out here. What could possibly make them openly violate the masquerade? Desperation. The killer's been leaving messages. Whoever they are, I think they know something. Something they can't share with just anyone. I know it seems far-fetched, but the only way this puzzle fits together... Nah, I don't buy it. You're reaching. Trying to find a scapegoat. Get your boss's good graces. Word gets around, D'Angelo. You think I don't know who you're working for? Then help us clear your name. Figures you'd cover for one of your own. What if we stop asking politely? Then help us clear your name. Thank you, Maru. Then help us clear your people's name. What have you got to lose? Everything. I've been a thorn in the council's side for a while now. This is just the excuse they need to get rid of me. What if it turns out one of yours did it, and you sat on your hands to protect him? You think the council won't jump on that? He looks off into the darkness, pondering his options. He lets out a heavy sigh. Look, I'll ask around, consult my sources. If it turns out one of my own is responsible, they will face justice. In the meantime, keep your deductions to yourself. Enough trouble as it is. Deal. Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my family. And with that, Larson retreats to the elusive safety of his home. He decides best to move along. You walk a couple of blocks in utter silence. Even D'Angelo's mumbling seems to have taken a back seat. Oddly enough, you find his newfound reticence somewhat unnerving. Finally, the Nosferatu stops and turns towards you. Hell of a night. You said it, boss. Excuse me, sir. That is my mouse. I don't know about you, kid, but I sure could use a drink. Something warm in a tall, sweaty glass. But first, let me tally your score. Let me see. You did make a good first impression. I like someone who can talk themselves out of a tight spot. Talking's cheap. Bullets, not so much. You held your own at that crime scene. Nothing I hadn't figured out on my own, but hey, we can't all be professional. Finally, when the situation called for subtlety, you managed to avoid unwanted attention. Discretion is what separates a private dick from just any old dick. All in all, you did fine. Not fine, but not bad for your first case. Don't let it get to your head. Sweet smell of success. Convinced D'Angelo to cooperate with you. Awesome. I'll be in touch. Let you know if I hear from Larson. Get ready to meet at the office. He starts to walk away, but suddenly stops and turns back towards you. And bring a notepad. Every good assistant should have one. And now I have to rest. Kadir al-Assami, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at the door to your haven. I didn't do it. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you'd either expect to see him already inside, or never see him coming at all. Yet, there he is, on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence. Evening. May I come in? You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as permission. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door. Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? Feels like Langley's apartment through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on this shelf, obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual. He picks one of them up and smirks before putting it away. The phenomenology of spirit, next to all this garbage poetry. We can make a bet. She's read more than 20 pages. I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood. The kind of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it to shelter from the sun and rest, right? Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight-or-flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his question. If Kader is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again. Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan. Now he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. Uh-huh. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next. That endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, at Blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, and a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit. As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours. Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries, There's no animosity in his voice, he's just stating a fact. Let me get straight to the point then. He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return. You see, there's something I've realized over the years. In large part, I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe, as long as its members adhere to a certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see. But that, obviously, remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so, I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for a good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or, like an Agatha Christie protagonist, not the Unicorn and the Wasp. Not the Unicorn and the Wasp. even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all. He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice. A voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him? So you see, for this detective, the why done it is far more important than the who done it or how done it. When you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. But of course, the kindred know it. So they devise ways to make my job much harder, just like conspiracies between two unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall. A boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink enough blood. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coteries so fast? You are surrounded by unclear motivations, which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well. Why are you here? What are your motivations? You unnerve me. It's you who unnerves me. You've made me one hell of a first impression. You've made one hell of a first impression. Finally, you manage to raise your voice. Kadir notices the effort and smiles softly. So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I'm here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a rapport with you to better fulfill my obligations. The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla, what choice do I have? I understand if you didn't want to see my face again. But I'm one of the faces in New York City's community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you. And I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds, and one of them might endanger our community. Well, that's not menacing at all. Who is he talking about? Someone from my coterie? You mean someone I'm trying to recruit into my coterie? Coterie? Fun to say. Kadir shakes his head. I'm monitoring them, and they know it. If they're breaking the rules, they're doing it the right way, meaning I haven't learned about it yet. Unless you might want to share something. A moment of awkward silence. Joking. Mostly. He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you. This is our troublemaker. You open the file and see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and are overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. Newman! Benjamin Newman. The asshole who made the last few years of your life a living hell. The sexual harassment, the mobbing, the way he kept delegating all his obligations to you without ever letting you reap the fruits of your labor. The way he stole your soul. Goddamn prick. You look up at Kadir, expecting answers. Apparently, your company is in trouble. Lots of financial irregularities, and Mr. Newman is all too happy to testify that the one employee who's just suddenly disappeared is to blame. The story is as fishy as it gets, but your disappearance is being investigated, and a lot of people are searching for you. It attracts attention to us, and as such, it must be stopped. Must be stopped sounds threatening. You dread thinking of what he's planning. I'll arrange for you two to meet tomorrow, so that you can straighten out the situation, and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken. We'll arrange what? Your eyes must look like saucers right now. Usually, these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple. It's clean. No contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. And it gives me the opportunity to learn more about you as I observe. When neonates interact with kind, they used to hold dear. Their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. Of course, he's invested in being kind to you. Or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself. Any objections? Any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head. Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come up with a load of bull that's easy to swallow. He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it, you need to think it through. Fuck you. For a long time, you just sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, thinking about how revenge is a dish best served cold. Oh, somebody's watching me is back. Do that. Because I want to take care of whoever's tailing me, so that way I don't endanger the others. Like, I feel like if someone is tailing me when I'm going to the other vampires, then I'm going to put them in danger, and I don't want to do that. Hello, Ian. How are you? Welcome in. Yep, I'm playing Vampires the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. I say playing. That are masquerading, yes. Yes. Exactly. I say playing, I use that term very loosely. It's a visual novel, so lots of reading. And I'm gonna need more tea soon if I keep this up. Alright, let's see if we can catch our tail. You're in your haven when the intercom rings. Answering cautiously, you hear an older male voice. Hello, I'm calling because a friend asked me to come by and offer you my services. What do you mean services? You know, services. You know what I'm talking about. The man sounds strangely excited, breathing hard. Is this a sex thing? No, or, I mean, not in that way. I know you're one of them. Please, it's all right. I don't mind. You can drink with me, if you understand what I mean. A man you've never seen before is paying a visit to an apartment not many people know of, offering for you to feed from him. Let's continue this face-to-face. I don't drink with people I've never met. I'm getting creeped out. I know little of the game. I know it's a tabletop RPG, normally. More focused on, like, skill rules, right? Yeah, I suppose. I haven't played the tabletop game in a really long fucking time. In over 10 years. There is, Bloodlines, which is an actual game, but the company that made it bankrupted before they fully finished it, so it was finished, or it was released unfinished, and people had to, like, make mods to make the game work. And it still doesn't fucking work, at least not for me. I break it all the fucking time. I've never finished it because I keep breaking it. Whereas this is a visual novel, so I'm just reading and making decisions. It doesn't have me, like, roll for anything, which is kind of lame. I kind of wish that it would at least let me roll for perception and shit like that. Because that would feel more to the, feel of VTM. But I think this is more so that way people can get an idea of the lore for the different areas. Like, this is New York. Bloodlines takes place in California, out in Hollywood, that area. So It is. I should check that dictionary. I got 2 new ones. Neonate, a young kindred, recently embraced, but more than a fledgling. Okay. Blood bond, a mystically enforced relationship between a vampire and another mortal or kindred. Drinking the blood of a vampire directly from the vein 3 times creates an intense loyalty in the drinker, resembling infatuation or obsession. The bond loses its grip with time, but is reinforced by repeated drinks from the donor vampire. People know vamps exist, or it's all underworld type. Like, the masquerade means we're in hiding. That's what the masquerade is. Not revealing our existence to the world. I don't drink with people I've never met. That's not true. I drank some random person at a bar the other night. We won't talk about that. I'm getting creeped out. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. I mean no harm. You couldn't hurt me even if you wanted to, bitch. Silence. A minute passes and you hear a knock on the door to your haven. You cautiously open the door. Gotcha. I thought it was referring to just being deceptive and as fuck and schemes. I mean, technically, yes. Technically, you're not wrong. They are being deceptive by not revealing what they are. All right. A stranger looks at you sheepishly. He's in his 30s, dressed in a clean business suit. He looks moderately successful, someone you can meet at an investment bank. I'm sorry. I didn't want to intrude, so that's why I called from downstairs. Forget all this and go. I do need to feed. Please leave. I don't want to take the bait. Please leave. I don't want to see you around here again, and tell whoever sent you they can come see me themselves instead of sending lackeys. Please feed for me. It's all right, really. The man sounds desperate. Whatever this is about, you want no part of it. Second thought, come in. I'll break your face. I'll call the cops. I'll call the cops, and you can explain to them why you're creeping around here. It's an empty threat. You wouldn't call the police on your own haven, but you hope he doesn't know that. Oh, please, not the cops. I can't afford to get arrested. The man takes one last yearning look at you and turns around, running down the hallway. He presses the elevator button nervously and disappears inside. You're left to wonder what this was all about. Who was this guy, and why did he show up trying to offer you his blood? Now I have to rest. Lame. There aren't enough hours in the night. Knock, knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rearview mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. Except it wouldn't look like that. Whatever. Physics. However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Kadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Goddamn Newman. You're getting violent just thinking about him. Let me tell you how it's going to go. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you two from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well, but I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. Found yourself at a crossroads, decided to radically change your life, and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high. They've heard it all. However, you do not appreciate being accused of a crime you didn't commit. So you're back, both to clear your name and strike fear into the heart of the real culprit. By now, you should know how to cause fear among the living, right? He smirks at you. If you've ever seen True Blood, do you remember the episode where the guy offered himself up because he had, like, I swear it was described as... Okay. Is that not a thing people... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Bloodborne pathogens I could see being a problem, but then again, it depends on the type of vampire you're going with, and I would think. Like, the type of vampire we are, 100% dead, no heartbeat, no circulation. So I don't think a human bloodborne pathogen would be able to affect the vampires of this universe. But maybe vampires of other universes? I have seen some of True Blood. I haven't seen most of it. I've only seen a few episodes here and there. I keep meaning to watch it, but I just never get around to it. Oh, gosh, my eyes bugging me. Anywho. Yummy. Have fun. As long as you don't leave a mess for me to clean up, we should be good. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We're here. You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It is a familiar place. It's the office in which you wasted the best years of your life. I was into it when I was younger, then it kept going. Aha, Shyamalan twist. Oh. Yeah. That's fair. Shamalama ding dong. How I feel about that. What? Newman should be up there. Apparently, someone is blackmailing him with documents proving his penchant for embezzlement. The poor guy is stuck in his office, and he's probably pretty shaken up. The documents don't exist, but it would be a shame if someone went there, wiped the floor with the man, found the proof he pilfered the funds, and forced him to admit his crimes. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for Newman's office. The elevator ride up doesn't seem to end. What feels like 5 hours, but in reality is closer to 30 seconds, you finally reach your floor. Your ex-boss is sitting in his office, just like Kadir said. He looks, how can you put it, as if he has just Googled body language of alpha males and attempted to poorly copy the most cartoonish posture in order to intimidate the blackmailer. Out of habit, you take a deep breath as you step inside his office. Vita? He immediately relaxes. Just Vita, as I say, as a sly grin appears beneath them. Forget to ask for a vacation. Let me scroll back up. People were worried, you know. Not to mention, overworked to hell and back. Then, overworked some more. Someone had to take over your responsibility. And guess what? Just as we started digging into your work, some unexpected financial irregularities started popping. We'll need to work on a common story to explain those, you see? You keep quiet and just stare him down. The poor idiot still thinks he's the predator in the room. Let's see how long it takes him to realize his mistake. Newman senses that you're different, somehow. He attempts to stare back, but fails to withstand your glare. He starts to wonder what's going on and quickly arrives at a conclusion. Wait a second. So you're the one who sent me that message. Now that's a laugh. So Vita, the character I'm playing as, has only been a vampire for 2 weeks to a month at this point. But my VTM character that I have as an OC has been around since she was turned in the 1920s. He starts approaching you. Sweetheart, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. You think you could convince anyone that you never knew what was going on around here? Fat chance. Even if you did, you know my friends, they'd never let you live it down. He's right in front of you, licking his lips, pondering the best way to display his complete physical superiority. You won't give him the chance. Presence. Scare the shit out of him. Before Newman blinks, you're standing in front of him, your arms crossed. After he blinks, your hands is already on his throat. He freezes up. I'm 17. How long have you been 17? Oh, yeah. Oh, I need to feed soon. He watches you get in his face and slowly brandish your long fangs. A loud, throaty, inhuman growl rings out throughout the office and begins to morph into a violent hiss. For a moment, your ex-boss can't identify the source of the overwhelming sound, or rather, his brain refuses to accept that your relatively small body is capable of generating a noise like this. Yeah, I've been told something along those lines before. The reason they call me Banshee. As he begins to understand and process the unnatural sight of your fangs, he is gradually overpowered by an animalistic fear that shatters his entire worldview. You were supposed to be a victim. Why are you a threat? Why did reality break? You slowly tighten your grip on his neck, not hard enough to trigger a fight response, but enough to strike deeper fear into his heart. Kneel. Newman complies with your demand, squealing softly, a single tear making its way down the stubble on his cheek. Fuck. Obey. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't kill me, please. You gather your strength and throw him, slamming him against the desk. Fuck. A born boardman predator has met his better in the place he least expected it. You slowly start walking toward him. Stop, I get it! I'll do it! I'll fucking do it! With shaking hands, he scrambles toward a safe on his shelf. He opens it and takes out some documents inside. This is what you want, right? This is what you want! You rip the papers from his hands and browse them. These should be enough to, as Kadir would put it, prove his penchant for embezzlement. I'll clear your fucking name. Tell them somebody else. You twist your heel into his hand. He screams. I did it. I'll tell them I did it. Leave in silence. You simply turn around and start walking away. Consider this my resignation letter. Meet somebody you used to know. Oh, I didn't get to read all of it. You walk into the elevator, press the ground floor button, and wave at Newman as the doors start closing. He mumbles something under his breath and winces in pain. Back to Kadir's car. Blech. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets? Said everything you had to say, didn't say a fucking word. I wiped the floor with him and got the documents that should keep him in check. That asshole will be looking over his shoulder constantly for the rest of his life. Kadir smiles deviously. Looks like you can take care of business, as expected. I don't need to tell you to hang on to those documents, but keep in mind that you can use them for more than a security guarantee. We're always looking for more contacts among the big fish. Once you settle in, you can use what you know of Newman to convince the elders that he's better off as your ghoul. I know what a ghoul is, but ghoul, a minion created by giving a bit of vampiric vitae to a mortal without draining them of blood first, which would create a vampire instead. And that was how my OC was made. Oops. Now that's an enticing thought. You're surprised at his suggestion. The car speeds up to cross an intersection before the light turns red. Give Kadir a good hard look. Why are you not mean to me? Thank you. Good job setting it all up. Thank you. Thanks. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it, very vampire thing to say, but you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usually furrowed brow smooths out for a moment. Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt he will go back to decapitating suckers like you any time now. The car starts slowing down. We're here. Look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. How dare you have manners? Yeah, I know. The very vampire of you. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Kadir. Can't say you're fond of him, what with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. I mean, I like his character. I do. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. Woo! Okay. I want to go play with the pretty Gangrel. Gangrel! Boop! Once again, you cross the gate of Prospect Park and head straight for where you last saw the feral duo. Minutes pass, finding no sign of Tamika. You begin to worry that something might have happened to her. Suddenly, you hear rustling coming from the nearby bushes, and it's not the stray cat kind of rustling either. Whoever's hiding in those bushes, you know I can hear you, right? Tamika? You know I can hear you, right? Hey, you in the bushes. You know I can hear you, right? The rustling stops, if only for a second. Suddenly, the bushes part, and Raoul walks out, desperately trying to look confident. Yeah, that ain't because I wanted you to. Oh, that's only because I wanted you to. Sorry, I misread it. Listen, I wanted to have a word before Tammy gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason. But the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best. At worst, you're a threat. You don't like me. Got it. What a dork. You don't like me. Got it. I get it. You don't like me. Forgive me if I don't lose any sleep over it. How I feel on a daily fucking basis. Oh, you don't like me? That's fine. Okay, bye. You should be. Because when I don't like someone, I do something about it. And it's usually not pleasant. Really, you can't just fuck off. Have a nice tall glass of go fuck yourself. Tamika is my sister, in every sense of the word that counts. Didn't realize there were senses of the word that didn't count, but okay. Anything happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you. That's fine. That I can respect. But just trying to fuck me up for the sake of fucking me up because you don't like me, bitch, I will fuck you up in return. Is that clear? Thank you, fuck you? Crystal, now fuck off. That's not what I wanted to click, damn it. I'm not your enemy, or Tamika's. I don't think you understand. I don't give a fuck what you think you are. I meant to click the other one. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamika, I'm holding you accountable. All of a sudden, the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. Just faint enough to not be ostentatious, but still loud enough to hear. You can tell that whoever's approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Raoul turn just in time to see Tamika emerge from behind an old sycamore tree. Hard to tell just how long she's been listening in on your conversation. In any case, she walks up and speaks, addressing no one in particular. Did I miss anything? Your brother's worried about you. Your brother's being an asshole. Nothing important. Nothing too important. We were just having a chat. Where are you now? She gives Raoul a scornful look, like she's about to rub his nose in his own crap. What about... Nothing. You know where to look for me, Tam. Sure do. And with that, Raoul takes his leave. Tamika waits in silence, just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her, and addresses you. I have a favor to ask. For you? Anything. Sure, anything. She raises an eyebrow. I like the Gangrels, okay? I'm sorry. I like the Gangrels. That's the clan I always choose. Instead I gotta play a fucking Ventru because she's the only female. Anything, huh? Careful. I might keep you to that. I mean it. I fucking mean it. I love the Gangrels. I meant what I said. A look of genuine surprise washes over her face. She blinks as if trying to revert to her default resting bitch face setting. I have an errand to run. I was hoping you'd come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. Should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. Wait, we're walking? 3 hours? You call that short? You call that short? 3 hours, huh? You call that short? A short walk? Sorry, I'm used to much longer distances than that. I forgot not everyone is. Ventru would not be, that's true. Whereas Gangrels will fucking run until the sun comes up. You think you can handle it? What's this about? Should I expect trouble? Sure, let's go. Should I expect trouble? Sounds kind of shady. Should I expect trouble? You should always expect trouble. But I'm not planning to start any. And so, you head toward the parking lot, accompanied by Tamika, and a lot of unanswered questions. You're so fucking cute. You're so fucking cute. Following Tamika's directions, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery, one of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. Why does it look like it's fucking daytime? Jesus Christ. You enter through the southwestern gate and follow your companion through the sea of tombstones. Nice enough place, as far as graveyards go. Much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Is it a graveyard, or is it a cemetery? Are we attached to a church here? Or are we just floating around by ourselves? Because a graveyard is attached to a church. A cemetery is not. Really good floodlights. No shit, man. Tamika confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left and takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. The inscription reads, Luca Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991. Hey! That's when I was born. Taken from us too soon. That part's wrong, though. I'm still here. Despite some best efforts. With her eyes on the gravesite, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment alone. Not long. 5 minutes at most. You look around and search for a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. At the far end of a nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. Fucking yeah! Let's go there. Suddenly you hear voices. Distant, but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple of teenagers out to get their late-night kicks among the dearly departed. Might be a good chance to feed. Then again, you could just pass the time walking around the area. Actually quite nice, in a dark and somber kind of way. Well, there's multiple teenagers, though. That doesn't... I think I'll be okay, because I don't have the blood around the edges. So I think at some point I must have fed or had a blood bag. It didn't say. But I don't have the blood around the edges that indicates I need to feed. So I'll take a walk, but not a long walk. I guess I'll just take a walk. Don't take too long. She throws you a razor-sharp glare. Yeah, like I said, 5 minutes. You spend a few minutes walking around, taking in the sights and reading the various inscriptions on some of the older headstones. Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamika sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over to her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting her hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the ferocious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. I think I'm done. Who was she? I really want to ask, but do you feel like sharing feels more appropriate? You feel like sharing? No, but I guess I owe you an explanation. She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced not far from here, in this cemetery. Fitting spot, I suppose. It was close to a decade ago. I'd been on the road for a couple of years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to be just another stop. And then I met Jezebel. Always a fucking Jezebel, Jesus Christ. She was strong, smart, independent. Seemed like someone I could trust. Someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed. And she could hold her own in a fistfight, too. Wasn't there a Jezebel in Bloodlines? Or a bar named Jezebel's? I know the name Jezebel is like sticking out from VTM lore, but I can't remember it right now. You are just loving that he is all four paws needing you, huh, Bit? Are you getting a massage over there? Bitch. Funny thing, though. She only wanted to meet during nighttime. I didn't think much of it. Even came up with excuses for it. Busy, eccentric, whatever worked. Until one night she sank her teeth into my neck. At least you knew your sire. She's still around? Sounds like quite the girl. At least you knew your sire. Hey, at least you got to know your sire. Can't say the same for myself. For a brief moment, she looks at you with genuine sympathy. I'm sorry. She then looks away, as if slightly embarrassed by her own reaction. Anyway, she left soon after turning me. I think the conclave of Prague really shook her up. She left you alone. Doesn't justify leaving you. Conclave of Prague? Wait, the conclave of what now? Prague. It's a city in Central Europe. It was supposed to be neutral ground, a good place to discuss politics and strategy. It ended up almost turning into a civil war. Next thing you know, the Anarchs were expunged from the Camarilla. All they had done for our kind, blood they spilled, it didn't amount to a thing. Can't blame Jezebel for feeling betrayed, but yeah, even though I still had Raoul and Luca, I was still furious and terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated assault by the Second Inquisition, a genocide by any other name. Her family got together, bought up a plot, and buried an empty casket. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time. It reminds me of who I am. Keeps me in check. Keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate that level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry. I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grunts and stares, the next I'm giving you my biography. Guess I'm just tired, being scared, alone. You don't have to be alone. You're looking for a place to belong. Gangrels are typically the outsiders, so no. You don't have to be alone. I used to think so. Those were simpler times. At this point, I'm just looking for something to believe in. Someone I could give a damn. You have me, the Camarilla has its merits, the Anarchs cherish freedom. You have Raoul. You'll always have Raoul, unless, you know, he goes the way of Luca. She smiles sadly. Will I? Don't get me wrong, Raoul is my brother. The bond between us is not easily broken. But he's got ideas and ambitions of his own. He won't always be there to watch my back. I can't expect that of him. You open your mouth, but before you can make a sound, Tamika motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs at the air. Her ears perk up and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all of her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering it to pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce onto your feet. You look at the mass of fur and muscle that just nearly pulverized you. The creature rears its head and gives you a deranged stare. It then turns to Tamika. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place, as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shift its weight, as if preparing to pounce. Fortitude! Yeah, I'm gonna need a feat soon. Feeling your body strengthen with inhuman resilience, you jump in front of the beastly assailant, breaking the force of its attack. Still, the sheer weight of the creature slams you onto the ground. If it wasn't for your supernatural endurance, you're pretty sure your spine would turn to powder. Suddenly, the beast lets out a pained roar. In a flash of consciousness, you see Tamika hunched atop the monster's shoulders, her claws plunged into its eye sockets. Floundering like a fish out of water, the monster finally manages to shake the feral Valkyrie off its back. The creature then turns towards you. For a second or two, it moves its mouth awkwardly, as if trying to remember how to form words. Stay out my ground. The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing, when all of a sudden, a gunshot sends it tumbling to the ground. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerge from the shadows in an orderly formation and move in closer around the creature. Retreat and hide. Not sure what to make of what's happening, you figure it's best to get out of sight, because those are hunters. That was clearly a werewolf that we just encountered. And those are clearly hunters that just shot it. So, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, thanks, bye! As you start backing away into the nearby bushes, you notice Tamika following your lead. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of armed men subdue the creature, using steel nets and cattle prods. Whew! In the corner of your eye, you catch Tamika looking away, as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. Run, bish, run! Well, if we run, we attract attention. So. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. Walk back turns out to be a quiet and somber experience. You both walk in silence, the city a blur of lights and cars careening by. You look over to Tamika. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. What's that thing back there? Any idea who those guys were? You gonna be alright? You gonna be alright? That thing back there really spooked you. I don't know. Catches herself and quickly attempts to hide her vulnerability. Yeah, I think so. It's just that I've always heard stories about the scarred one. Never thought I'd actually run into him. What is he? The boogeyman? The scarred one. That's the only name he's known by. He's a cautionary tale for young Gangrel. He's what happens when you let the beast take over. Oh. Okay, never mind. Not a werewolf. Vampire. Shape-shifting vampire. I always figured him to be more of a metaphor. Seeing him in real life. It's like if a Christian just happened to run into Judas. And seeing him hunted down by the SI. I don't know what to think. I don't even know where to start thinking. Deciding to give her some space, you spend the rest of the walk in silence. Soon enough, the familiar tree line of Prospect Park comes into view. You stop by the entrance nearest to Tamika's haven. She keeps walking without so much as a word or a glance in your direction. She stops after several paces and turns back towards you. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming with me. But now I have a lot of shit to figure out. Once I do, I'll let you know. And with that, she disappears among the trees. Seeing no point in sticking around, you take your leave. And with that, we need to rest. I need to take a stretch break because I haven't taken one in a hot minute. So I will be back momentarily. Don't sit on the keyboard.
That's cool. Frostallion literally runs on like an ice path.
Ame almost dismantled my base.
Damn it, Ame.
He's sitting in front of the keyboard and I was scratching his neck and his legs started going and he just knocked my can of soda over, but thankfully it's empty, so... Ame, quit thumping your tail.
Where's out?
Out, is back... Oh my god, it's a little flush! Oh, fuck that, get it away! No, the fuck it is not! No, thank you! I would rather fucking not! No, not the fucking children in this small-ass fucking room! Okay, cool, thanks.
Ah! Ah, there's a timer! There's a timer! Help, 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 help! Help! I'm in a saw. I need a nail file, a piece of gum. I need a nail file, a piece of gum, and a paper clip.
What is it? What's this code?
Z
3, 2,
3
1.
Dude, I can't read half of it. C3.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no! Can I... Is it really this easy? Can I really cheat my way through this? Oh my god! Had I known I could do this, this would have made things so much easier. Oh! I had so much rage at this point. Like, Let's use one flashlight at a time.
That's a good idea.
I got Bracken.
It's following us around.
I hope Shamandra at least heard me scream. Look at my collection of...
I see no shark. Oh look, 3 Stooges trying to survive the forest. Oh, shut up, Mama Cry.
What the fuck? The log thingy is moving by itself. Whoop! The shark just flipped out of existence, and before the log thingy started moving by itself, there was a person standing.
Well, that's strange.
I don't know what's going on.
Ah, fuck, you're the wraith. You may be invisible, but I see you, bitch. Right fucking there. Fuck that shit. Get out of here. Go away. Get out of my butt.
What?
Can I have the camera for a second to see if the camera sees what I see?
That only works sometimes.
I mean, currently it looks like it's showing all, 30 of you. There, you can have it back.
Oh boy.
I hope I threw it to the right one.
Okay, Draven.
That means that we're really here.
I got this. I got this, guys.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's fine. He's fine.
Is he okay?
He's taking a nap.
He's sleeping. Yeah,
He's just asleep.
He hit his head and concussed himself, and he's taking a nap.
You remember what they said?
Behind
what
you.
They said?
Oh! Behind you.
God! Fire! Fire! Oh shit!
Yeah, there was no way, no good way to go about that. So I don't know if the sub worked or not, because for some reason it went through Google Play and Twitch is still telling me I can sub to you, but we'll see. I mean, it hasn't given a notification.
Try reloading. Reload the app.
Oh god! Oh shit! No! No! Ah! I got the man! I got the man!
Off to a great start. Are you a zombie? Where are you going? Where is it going? Seriously, where is it going? Dude, what are you doing? My Pokemon just ran away. Hey, there's how you get your damage.
Oh, look at that.
You guys still alive? Yeah, they're still alive.
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me. All I saw was your hand through the door.
I'm coming for you.
Gosh, oh god, you're over here. Sorry, I didn't know you were over here. I'm sorry. I came around the corner just in time to see that shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
And I haven't upgraded.
Do you want uppies?
Need to go.
Let's see. There's a sound. Well.
Alrighty, I am back. Gonna do one more night. You two are fucking cute. And then I'm gonna call it a night on this. My throat's getting sore. Visual novels take a lot. So, I don't do them very often. Alright, we'll go ahead and rest. Okay, well, I was just with you. So, ladies first. The other side of Hope. Hope is about to head into the city, accompany her, and see her true face. When you get to the internet cafe, Hope is already waiting up front. The sight catches you off guard. Part of you suspected that she might be more of a shut-in. My haven is my castle type. Perfect timing. We need to go for a ride. Get in, get in, get in! Doesn't wait for your response, and jumps behind the wheel of a lavender vintage roadster instead. The engine starts roaring expectantly, causing everyone's head to turn. Yeah, that's fucking subtle, Hope. Malkavians. They don't actually understand subtlety. Not wanting to attract needless attention, you quickly slip into the backseat of the car. The moment you shut the door behind you, the vehicle sets off, tires screeching. Why do we always get in the back? Sorry for not bringing you up to speed first, but hey, this is NYC. Everyone's always in a rush, and this is even more true when you're kindred. Now, allow me to take care of some business, and I'll be right with you. I hate that she talks to you in different usernames. Like, I understand she has, like, bipolar disorder, essentially. Or not bipolar. Multiple personalities. Because she is Malkavian. And that is very common of Malkavians. But, like, simmer down. Even as she's zooming through traffic, she's still on her phone, of course. Nice car. Watch the road, please. What's your business? Business? How do you make a living in this city? It's a long story. Do you really want to hear it? Before you manage to answer, she starts talking. Okay. So, another extremely online Malk based in New York, who goes by the name of Dev Null, told me to Google Ethereum a few years ago. That's how I got into Bitcoin. And I found a new religion. 23-year-olds selling visions of governments replaced by being benign code and decentralizing consensus. Masses ruled by algorithms as just the laws of physics. Idiot man-child investors trying to shape their realities through sheer fanatical zeal. Dedicated collectors of things as abstract, and dedicated collectors, Jesus, my dyslexia is getting great over here, of things as abstract as the rare SHA-256 decryption. Her driving style is far more aggressive and dangerous than you're comfortable with. Is it just you, or does she peek into the rear view mirror more often than she looks straight at the road? A hyper-speculative environment where nothing has real value, only abstract beliefs and matter. And your life savings can be ruined by a single bullshit tweet. How could I refuse the allure? I started buying low and selling high on a variety of shady 24/7 exchanges that allowed me with 100 times leverage, as in, they'd lend me 100 times the capital I could bet with. I got lucky at the beginning and kept the ball rolling. Shorting and longing, impulsively, recklessly. I got to the point where I became too big to fail. And that's when I cashed out. The car comes to an abrupt halt. You bump up against the seat in front of you. Okay, this story will be continued later. We're here, right at our first stop. I'll need you to do me a favor. First stop. Young, hot, petite. Ennui. Yeah, I need to run a few errands tonight. This one is as simple as it gets. See that weird guy in the Yankees cap standing around the corner? Approach him. Tell him you're young, hot, petite ennui. Take the phone he gives you and bring it here. Get going, honey. It's illegal to park here. You jump out of the car and approach the man Hope has pointed out. Not Not a lot you could tell about him based on his appearance, aside from the fact that he seems pretty shady. The guy assumes a comically threatening pose as you approach him. The hell do you want? I'm young, hot, and petite. I'm young, hot, petite, Henri. Oh, gotta admit, I had no idea what ennui meant, so I had to make sure. I was about to Google it, you know. He takes the phone out of his pocket and covertly passes it to you. Everything has been prepared and preloaded according to your instructions. It'll take about 2 minutes to transfer the data. Now get out of here. The man walks away with an exaggerated hip-hop gait. You jump back in Hope's car. She immediately steps on the gas. You got the phone? You're the best. Pass it to me, please. She connects the 2 smartphones using a cable and begins some sort of data transfer. Looks like an identical model. After a minute or so, the process is complete. All right. Goodbye, lovely. You've served me well. Hope opens the car window, grabs her old phone. You're not expert enough to recognize the exact model, but it definitely looks like it had an $800 price slapped on it, and tosses it out the window. Surprised, you look behind you and see a car in the opposite lane run over the abandoned device. Hope notices your quizzical look. Off the grid lifestyle. I've been needing a lot of burner phones lately, and I'm not going to use some cheap piece of shit. So it's an, pretty expensive necessity. Intersection. Red light. Takes advantage of a moment to shoot a driving selfie that strategically excludes her face and upload it to Instagram. You notice her handle there is Versace Beauty. That's what that is. Now, I was telling you a story. Cashing out. Right. At some point toward the end of 2017, I became convinced I needed to cash out. There was no way the bubble was going to last forever. I always knew there would be no grapes of wrath for the cryptocurrency era. It would have to be a series of profoundly antisocial, disconnected events. The whole crypto culture was a decentralized church of lone millennials who rejected the established modern values and kept atoning for the original sin of not buying Bitcoin back in 2013. Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself for not buying Bitcoin back in 2013, but even back then I was like, man, this sounds fucking stupid. Surprise! It was, but if I'd stuck around for a little bit and cashed out, I'd actually have some fucking money. Maybe. Excuse me. Another abrupt last-second turn. You're pressed against the window. What the hell is with her driving? But a life you never wanted to live anyway and get a chance to win a priceless pile of nothing. Untether yourself from all worldly desires. Find joy in suicidal ideation. To this day, money holds no real value for me. It's as abstract as a video game score. A bunch of numbers on a screen. This joyless world changed me forever. I knew I had to escape. So I took my piles of fictional dollars to a new arena. Elite New York City social circles. Not because I wanted to scam them and make more, but because I wanted to finally have some goddamn fun. I mean, of course I had to scam them in the process, but it was only in service of becoming something more than a star. A constellation. Another abrupt stop, this time next to the entrance of a shifty-looking back alley. Leaky gut syndrome. Oh. All right, friend. This time you're at leaky gut syndrome. Whistleblower extraordinaire. Whenever a press sneak fuck wants a leak, you've got it. Got it? Sorry for putting you out there in my place, but I only personally contact people as a last resort. It's harder to protect my identity each time I show my face. And since I've got you, our man is waiting for you in this back alley. He's paying back a favor with a flash drive containing crucial information we need to stay safe in the city. Retrieve it. I will circle the area and make sure we aren't in danger right now. When you're done, get back here and I'll pick you up. Everything clear? Good. You exit the car and see it drive away in a hurry, then head into the narrow passageway. Sure enough, there's a man waiting for you at the end of the back street, unshaven, wearing wrinkled clothes, with a nervous eye tick. He looks even dodgier than the last guy you met. I know that each username is supposed to be like a different personality. I don't have the energy to make up new personalities for her on the fly. I am not Malkavian enough for that. Sorry. When you approach, he gives you a mean look. You lost or something? I'm leaky gut syndrome. You said you got a little something that might interest me? Of course. Straight to the point, aren't you? All right, then. Clumsily, he produces a USB stick from his front shirt pocket and holds it before your face. When you reach out to take it, he pulls his hand back and gives you a sly grin. Getting all this data was risky, you know. Miss Montgomery is an unusually secretive person. Digging up dirt on her took more effort than I expected. Effort that should be rewarded, I think. The more you ask around about her, the more you expect a letter saying, give up your inquiries, which are completely useless, at your doorstep. Perhaps attached to a severed cat head. Catch my drift? The secrecy surrounding her screams friends in high places, Brave New World Order, Illuminati shit, you know? Makes me think I deserve some hazard pay. Start walking away. You try to imagine what Hope would do if she were in your place. Then you simply turn away and start walking back where you came from. Calmly, wordlessly, no negotiation. Just as you're about to walk out of his sight, you hear an annoyed grunt behind you. All right. I shouldn't have put you on the spot like that. My bad, okay? Get back here. You turn around and look at the journalist expectantly. He sighs and extends the hand holding a flash drive towards you again. You take it. Oh yeah, one more thing. Not really sure what it's about, but one of my informants claims you might be interested in this. He reaches into his inner jacket pocket and presents you with something wholly unexpected. A bag of blood, labeled simply as ABRH. You take a closer look, but that doesn't answer any of your questions that just appeared in your mind. You peek into the journalist's cold blue eyes and see them twitch uncontrollably. Don't ask me. They said you'll know what to do with it, leaky gut. Come on, take it. Fine, I'll take it. You grab the bag. Anything else? Yeah. I don't think so. Thanks for your cooperation. Another eye twitch and an awkward silence. You hide the blood bag under your clothes and leave the alley the way you came. Hope's car appears behind the corner, just as you walk out onto the street. It doesn't even fully stop when you approach, but slows down just enough so that you can jump in. The moment you close the door, she leans into the gas pedal with her full strength, causing the engine to roar. Her driving style definitely doesn't reflect how laid back she seems as a person. We've got it. You throw the flash drive onto the seat next to her. Perfect. Any problems? How did the meeting go? You relate the entire back alley encounter to her. Toward the end of the story, you notice she's not staring at the road or her phone, but directly at your face. The realization startles you. Bloody Mary and Adderall. You got that bag of blood with you? You place it on the seat next to her. She peeks at the label. She looks at it again. Then she steps on the brakes. Vulgar. Fuck. I'm okay. She grabs both the bag and the flash drive you've obtained and throws them out the window. Looks like that's her favorite method of taking care of problems. That bag was a message. AB negative. Used to be my blood type. It's the rarest one, found in less than 1% of the United States population. Glad you didn't drink it. Who knows what they've done to the bag? Some New York City vets can tell you wild stories about using irradiated blood to locate and kill other kindred. Seriously, glad I didn't drink from him. Better safe than sorry, yeah. Still, I wonder if they would have done anything to his blood. That would be some kind of 5-dimensional chess move. But yeah, his contact is compromised and needs to be cut off. Goodbye, my journalist frenemy, and goodbye, dear leaky gut syndrome. You've both outlived your usefulness. After a brief period of hesitation, she deletes the whistleblower extraordinaire account and sighs. Another one bites the dust. Well, wealth hacker. I've got another story to finish. I was talking about Bitcoin, and then where did I stop? New York City elites. Oh, right. You know who saw the real face of this city? Anna Delvey. Oh, I actually know who Anna Delvey is. I actually know that. Anna Delvey, she was one hell of a con artist. She conned, she was a socialite who conned the ever-living shit out of so many elites. Out of, their money and all this, oh my god. It's a docuseries on fucking Netflix that you gotta watch. It's so good. I can't even remember the name of the fucking docuseries. But Anna Delvey, I actually know who that is. It's a wild story. It's so good. You ever heard of her? Yeah, yes I have. A Russian working-class girl born as Anna Sorokin. She moved to New York in 2013 and convinced everyone that she was this insanely rich trust fund kid, a wealthy German heiress. Manhattan elites totally fell for it, and they bought it for years while she swindled them. She only got arrested in 2017 after having stolen almost $300,000. Sorokin created her Delvey persona out of thin air, convinced everyone that she was going to set up an art fund, and kept tasting all of life's finest pleasures while being basically broke. It's wild. She even made up a fake family financial advisor, then killed him off when he became a liability. And apparently, most of her rich victims never admitted to being scammed out of shame. By now, you're sure, the way she scrutinizes her surroundings, for reckless driving, she's trying to escape somebody. Now Delvey's locked up with murderers and Rikers, writing her memoirs, apparently picking a lot of fights. Bless her heart, she'll forever be an inspiration. But I have more advantages than she ever did. I have my own considerable funds, and I can rely on many more made-up people than just old-ass financial advisor. A whole bunch of fake content creators and influencers that every rich dumbass wants to get in touch with and collaborate makes it super easy to earn more money than I invest. You've seen it firsthand, both as a deceiver and the deceived. It's a city of illusions. Make non-existent money, come up with a fictional status, play nonsensical Camarilla games. And one day you might just find yourself at the top. Alright, we're reaching our last stop. You look around. You're coming up on a parking garage. Devil Woman Doctor. You're gonna take an elevator to the 70th floor. Give the masked man you meet in front of the door this memory card. It contains an, art house movie I've made. Art house movie? What do you mean by art house? You've seen me rehearse it in my haven. You know what I mean. You didn't think I was doing that just for show, did you? I found some filthy rich Manhattan perps who will pay a fortune for a convincing vampire cam show. I don't need money, but their IT industry connections gave me an idea. When we give them this memory card, we'll gain access to tech that should allow us to take on my biggest enemy in the city. So your nickname this time is going to be Crash. You are momentarily dazed and can't immediately understand what happened. The first thing you know for sure is you were still a normal human being. You'd be dead if. You replay the last few seconds in your head. The other car appeared out of nowhere and crashed into Hope's vehicle at the maximum speed it was able to achieve in this closed-off space. The driver has already managed to kick open the mangled door next to him and stumbled out of his seat. Now he wordlessly approaches the trunk and takes a large caliber silenced pistol out of it. He starts approaching the lavender wreck of Hope's car, obviously ready to finish the job that he started. You have to be fast and violent. It's you or him now. Okay, your instincts take over. You don't come up with a strategy or an optimal route. You simply start running towards the gunman, yelling. For a split second, he's completely dumbfounded. Then he opens fire. The bullets put a brief stop to your sprint. You're engulfed in pain, your flesh and clothes being shredded to bits. But when his magazine runs out, you're still standing, determined to move forward. He tries to act as quickly as possible, but he can't reload his weapon before you get to him. A tackle, a primal scream. Left punch, right punch, left punch, right punch. You return this cruelty tenfold to his face. When you're done, the head is barely recognizable as human. You stand above the gunman's body, trying to calm yourself and your killer instincts. That's when you hear a voice. Ugh. Hope slithers out of her car and sees you standing over your assailant. Huh. You did pretty good. She approaches the body of the driver you killed and kicks it over so she can take a better look at it. Upon seeing the front of the corpse, she lets out an annoyed grunt. Knew it would be this asshole. He's been following us all day. And I know just who he belongs to. Even before she's done talking, she's already trying to reach someone through a video call. Eventually, she succeeds. You see a nonchalant woman in business casual on her smartphone screen. Business casual, Kara Montgomery, how may I help you? Kara. Oh, didn't expect you to ever reach me through this channel. Have you thought things through? Wait, did something happen? Did something happen? Your fucking ghoul just tried to kill me, you crazy bitch. That's what fucking happened. Calm yourself, for Christ's sake. This is a baseless accusation. I know he's from Double Spiral. He's been working at your motherfucking company. Come on, you know I can't be held responsible for the independent actions of my subordinates. Why don't we just meet up and talk it over? Hope disconnects the call and instantly blocks Kara from contacting her. You corporate shithead, you make me sick. Tired, she turns her gaze to the dead ghoul. I'll dispose of him. Help me put him in my car. 30 seconds later, his body is laying on the back seat of the lavender-colored wreck. Okay, good. You take a look at the scene of the carnage in front of you. Every second we're here gets us closer to a serious masquerade violation. I'll have to exchange my palm worthy masterpiece for the goods some other time. My vacuum is mad about something. She gets behind the wheel, and you follow her inside the car. Meet me in my haven when I tell you it's safe. For now, I need to dump this asshole somewhere, get my car fixed, and plan our counterattack. You guide Hope to your own haven. She drops you off, and before she leaves, she makes what's about to come perfectly clear. If we want to survive in this city, Kara Montgomery needs to die. She disappeared into traffic, and you disappear into your place. Cool. Alright, we've done the ladies. We're going to work our way down. Juno and Agathon. Juno, the notes. You find the mystery of Agathon's research tantalizing enough to pay him a visit. You know what to expect when you, return to the small bookstore serving as Agathon's haven. The cacophony of occult imagery assaults you from the book covers displayed on the window, but under the fake facade, there's something real. This time, the Buddhas and the satanic Bibles of the storefront seem almost funny. Or perhaps you've just started to tune into the dry humor of these Tremere. Just as you're about to ring the doorbell, the door opens and Agathon storms out. Step aside just in time to avoid having him stumble into you. Vita, what are you doing here? Came to help. Look, I came to help you, like last time. Okay, fine. Follow me. As he turns to go, Agathon almost looks pleased that you're here. Agathon walks to his car, with you, in tow. It didn't occur to you last time, but it's a surprisingly pedestrian vehicle. An aging, mid-sized family sedan. You imagine what it would look like with a baby seat in the back. Opening the door to the driver's side, Agathon notices your look. Laugh all you want, but it's inconspicuous and practical. You sit in the car and Agathon starts driving in his usual careful style. At least you'll never be stopped by traffic cops. It seems Agathon is not interested in small talk. Stay silent. You decide that it's best to let Agathon drive in peace. Agathon is very comfortable driving in silence. You look out the window, wondering at the ordinary lives of the people you pass by. Suddenly, Agathon snaps you out of your reverie. Let me ask you something, Vita. You enjoy the hunt? No. I just can't get over the fact that I used to be one of these people. The prey. A short time ago. Even if it feels good in the moment, in the long run it doesn't. I know how that feels. Many kindred are suspicious of the Tremere, but I believe that we are on the verge of discovering something that will be a great boon to our kind. For a second, Agathon sounds so sincere you take a look at him to make sure he isn't joking. Doesn't seem so. You exit Manhattan over the Brooklyn Bridge and soon reach the site of the nightclub that seems to be your destination. It's on the riverfront, a converted former warehouse. After Agathon parks the car, it's time for you to enter the nightclub. You glance at the Tremere, evaluating him. It's obvious this is not his kind of place. You may have worked in finance, but your colleagues got into some crazy shit if they did enough cocaine. You're not a party girl, but you don't stand out in a nightclub. Agathon does. There's a good chance the research notes are here. So it's not certain. You're not certain what we're looking for is here. Nothing in life or death is certain. There's a line into the club. It looks like a popular spot, even if, based on the crowd, this is not exactly the place for supermodels and celebrities. I'm the bouncer! You walk up to the man at the door and smile. Hey, you remember me, right? Mind if we go in? The bouncer looks at you, taken in by your supernatural charisma. It doesn't matter whether he really remembers you or not. Sure. Go right in. Have a great night. You walk into the club, ignoring all the people standing in line. I was going to comment that I need to feed, and then all I saw was that statue. The music beats down on you, bringing with it memories of a human existence. The first time you went dancing with friends, when you flirted with someone on the dance floor. This time it's different. You're a predator, and everyone around you is prey. Tightly packed, twitching sacks of blood and tissue. You sense the emotions all around you. Blood tinted with happiness, lust, rage, jealousy, love. A buffet of sensations. Focus. Keep an eye out for trouble while I look for what I came to find. You nod and follow Agathon through the throng, trying to ignore all the warmth, flesh, and circulating blood around you. Feeding opportunity. Drink from a club. I need to feed. You decide that the opportunity to feed has been handed to you, and it would be churlish to refuse. I see the blood around the outside of the screen that tells me I need to feed. I don't want to let it go too long again, because I already killed somebody. A young Latino man is dancing close to a beautiful, drugged-out girl. She takes his face in her hands and kisses him on the mouth. You slide close to them and sink your teeth into the man's neck. He moans from the pleasure of the kiss, and the girl assumes it's because of her. You check to see that nobody is watching, and then lick the wound closed before disengaging and returning to look for Agathon. You find a young, intense woman pointing a finger at his face. Agathon, you traitor. Don't you dare stand between me and what's mine. You look at the woman in surprise. Her appearance stands in contrast with the anger in her words. You know Aisling will not let you leave with the note. Perhaps she won't let you leave at all. Juno pulls close to Agathon's face and stage whispers loudly enough for you to hear her over the music. You're still so brainwashed that you care about what Aisling fucking Sturbridge wants. I'm done jumping through her hoops. I don't know what I saw in you, Agathon. You're such a lapdog. Let's not forget the masquerade. So she's your ex. Let's not forget the masquerade. Look, are we sure we want to talk about all this in the middle of a dance floor? Do I look like I care about the fucking masquerade? You look at Juno in genuine shock. From Sophie, you've understood that the masquerade is universal among the kindred. Juno, you don't mean that. You're not suicidal. Fucking watch me. Juno, please. Juno steps back, suddenly cold, ignoring the people dancing all around. She stares hard at Agathon. The past is past. The traditions are dead to me. You won't stop me, Agathon. I'll make sure of that here and now. You know I have the power. No, Juno, please. Agathon sounds panicked. He's not worried about his own survival, but of the possibility that Juno is going to unleash a genuine masquerade breach. I'm glad I fed. Calling on the powers of your blood, you step closer to Juno, between her and Agathon. Agathon was being an asshole. Don't hurt yourself just to get back at him. It's not worth it. Juno looks you in the eye, and you can see that she's tired and scared. Defecting from the Tremere is not easy or safe. You're right. She turns to go, then stops and glances back at you. You should pick better friends. With that, Juno walks through the oblivious dancers toward the exit. Looking around, you realize that Agathon didn't stay to witness your exchange with Juno. Instead, he worked his way around the dancing crowd, looking for the notes, using his arcane method. After Juno was gone, he returned, shaking his head. The notes were here, but not anymore. It's possible someone grabbed them when they hunted here. After making sure Juno is nowhere to be seen, you and Agathon push your way back outside. Outside, you walk to Agathon's car and drive back over the Brooklyn Bridge to Manhattan, heading for Agathon's haven. Juno mentions some very personal things. I trust your discretion in not discussing those things with Aisling. Of course. Your love life is your own business. Thank you. After a while, you reach Agathon's haven, and he parks the car. You walk to the occult bookstore, and Agathon invites you inside. The smell of incense assaults you as before, making you grateful you don't have to breathe. You follow Agathon upstairs to find Aisling's Sturbridge in an armchair, reading an old book. She puts the bookmark in place as you come in. You were successful, I hope? No, I'm sorry. The notes were there at some point, but not anymore. Whoop! Come back, monitor! Stop it. That's a shame. I hope you don't run out of time. How did Sophie's little protege do? Agathon turns to look at you. Well, surprisingly well. That's a surprise. I'll have to compliment Sophie on her choice. We met Juno. Fortunately, she couldn't find the notes either. That's interesting. The High Regent turns to look at you. What was your impression of Juno, fledgling? Angry. She was very angry. I don't know what you people did to her, but she's pissed. What we did. Careful now, fledgling. She made her own choices, bad as they were. Anyway, I have some things to discuss with Agatha. Run along now. You leave the occult bookstore, the cheesy, mystical music still in your ears as you walk away. You wonder about what happened with Juno. Why is she so anxious to leave her clan? Can she really do that? Could you leave Sophie's service if you wanted to? The hunger calls to you. The city skyscrapers, the seemingly never-ending sprawl of the boroughs, it's all a prison. You need to get out. You need to take back control over your life this instant. The memory of your sire's frosty blue eyes mocks you, tempts you to show your dominance, to prove you have the guts to take what you want. Feeding. That's just the thing. Coaxing. No. Ordering a mortal to bend to your will. Drinking deep from their lifeblood. Faces pass you by. While some look more ravishing than others, any would do right now. You compose yourself, your rational mind fearing a blatant breach of the masquerade's temporary hold over the beast and its compulsions. Calming yourself is a small victory in and of itself. This semblance of command will have to do for now, but it won't last. If I hadn't fed in the club, I'm sure I'd be killing someone right now. You need to quench this hunger before it overtakes you and makes you lose control. Well, we have to rest now, so you come back to... Oh, actually, no. We're going to call it here. Oh, good timing. Cool. Oh, there you are. I forgot where I put it first. Let's see if anyone is live. Oh, Tinges is live. Perfect. Tinges just went live. Holy shit. Okay, well. Give me my mouse. Give mouse to me. Thank y'all. Boop. We're going to go ahead and raid Tinges. If you're not subscribed, you can use this command. If you are subscribed, you can use this one. And if you're not already a member of the Discord, you can join using this link. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, it is down in the description. Remember to accept the rules by reacting, and it'll assign you a role. If you do not accept the rules to be assigned a role, it will kick you from the server when you close Discord. That's how I have it set up at this time. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I am going to hop off here, make me some dinner, do some tidying up, and chill for the evening. I kind of like that I did this early, because now I get some time to do some stuff and relax before I go to bed tonight. My throat is fucking trashed. So I'm glad I didn't schedule a stream for tomorrow. So I'm going to hop off here. I will see you guys later. Thursday, I'm doing Once Human. Yes. Once Human. So I hope to see you guys there. Until then, I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.